we invited Marty Kain, a New Zealander settled in San Diego, and one of the persons who touched my life greatly is you.
Yeah, so I grew up in Nelson, New Zealand. I guess sport was just my whole life. Just runs and jumps and then needs to keep this arm straight.
Yeah. Can I influence that, right? We need to ask, if you want to change the world, kind of make it more fun.
I think so, but I think he's just a good kid as well. And that's what fulfills me and gives me energy in that. So,
again, thank you so much for your time. All right, so we invited Marty Kain, a New Zealander settled in San Diego, and he's a cricket coach, a cricket fan, a cricket player, bowler and batter, and really bringing the learnings from his life as a cricket coach and changing the community from the core of its strength. He actually is a great coach. He brings mental stability to our teenagers. He brings camaraderie to our adult players. And he coaches right here in San Diego. And you can always, find him. We're going to post some information how to reach out to him. But great to have him on board. So, hi, Marty. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Fanny.
Thank you for coming in. So our podcast name is The Seeker. And we're going to start with a quick rapid fire round. So we're going to start with the rapid fire round, and I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and pretty much you answer whatever comes to your mind.
Okay.
You ready for it?
Let's do it.
Super. So, and we all know you're from San Diego, but originally from New Zealand. So my first question is rugby or cricket?
Cricket.
Awesome. New Zealand sunrise or San Diego sunset?
San Diego sunset.
Awesome. Surf first or nets first?
Surf.
All right. Bat or ball?
Bat.
Okay. Beach day or match day?
Ooh. Can I surf at the beach?
Okay. All right. So beach day it is. Coaching kids or playing yourself?
Coaching kids.
Awesome. Cooper or Andy?
Controversial. No comment.
You don't want to get into that. You have to go back to home, huh?
Yeah, no comment.
Discipline or freedom? What builds champions?
Both.
Both. One word that defines Kiwi spirit.
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Oh my God, that's amazing. I think that probably works for every country, every team, I guess. One lesson surfing taught you about life.
Just keep getting back up.
Keep getting back. Oh my God. Yeah. One lesson fatherhood taught you about leadership.
They're going to follow everything you do.
So be a good role model. Yeah. Calm seas or big waves?
Big waves for surfing.
Big waves for surfing. All right. So when life gets tough, paddle harder or wait for the right wave?
Wait for the right wave.
Ah, nice. Awesome. So stay calm, right?
Calm.
Awesome. So that completes my rapid fire round, and you did it amazing. So
100% right.
100% right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marty. Welcome, Marty. Thank you for taking time today. Really appreciate it. And again, I love the fact that you rotated your cap around to just get into a different character from your rapid fire round, but you did amazing in the rapid fire round. So I love that. Before we get started, I really wanted to let you know that, our podcast name is The Seeker. And the reason I chose that name is in the last few years, few things happened in my life that changed my life completely. As I try to understand why things are happening in a certain way, I found out that there is, I think, some kind of message coming from the universe, right? And we all get that. And I think at some point we think like, okay, I didn't think this is going to happen, but suddenly some miracles happen, some, challenges also happen to kind of motivate you. And on that path, I really wanted to try to understand and seek from the people that touch my life. And I really, really, really consider that one of the people one of the persons who touched my life greatly is you. I have two amazing teenagers, and one of them, Pratham, comes to you for cricket coaching. So I really wanted to bring you on board because, again, you're part of San Diego, but you're originally from New Zealand, and cricket is your passion, and we're going to talk all about it on this podcast. But there is something in you that you're bringing or you're sharing with the community and building the next generation of San Diegans. And that is like a very, very value add for the future generations of this country, of this city, right? So when I'm talking with you, I'm really coming with that perspective, trying to seek what gives you strength at the core of it. So with that, let's get started. But the first thing I'm going to ask you, a very, very tricky question. What do you think about me?
Oh, relaxed, friendly. When I hear you're coaching a cricket team, it always fills me with comfort because I know the players are in safe hands. Don't really care what cricketing knowledge you have, but I know they're in a safe, relaxed environment. So yeah, I'd say relaxed, friendly, and just open to ideas and many things as well.
Oh, super. Thank you. Appreciate that. And I never thought that could be something other people are thinking about me because, you're absolutely right. I'm not a big cricket. I don't watch cricket all the time. Like there's a crazy World Cup final going on and I'm doing something else because I'm an artist. And cricket is part of me per se because I grew up in the gully cricket, we call it, like street cricket in Hyderabad in India. And really, I also coached here in San Diego a little bit, but I started it because I observed others and I said, you know what, I could probably coach better even without any knowledge of cricket. And that's how I got into it. And I think my artistic brain helps people to make them feel better or calmer. So thank you for pointing that out. I really appreciate that. So let's start all the way back, right? So where were you born? How was it growing up? Where did you go for schooling? When did you first get introduced to cricket?
Yeah, so I grew up in Nelson, New Zealand. I guess sport was just my whole life. Played every sport under the sun, basically, and every minute outside of school, if not in school, I was playing some sport. I was early riser from the day I was born and would be to bed at by 6 p.m. until I was about 12.
Well, when do you used to get up?
4, 5.
4, 5.
Just
oh my God.
firing. So my parents would keep sleeping, and then I'd normally take my mum a cup of tea around 5:36 that she didn't really want because she was still trying to sleep, but I was ready for other people to get up. So I was an early riser and full of energy just to play sport, basically. So yeah, did my schooling in Nelson before going to boarding school in Christchurch when I was about 14 for the last 3 years of my life to fulfill my cricketing dreams. A bit bigger city and a bit more cricket and coaching and stuff going on there. So that was
What is the city name again?
Christchurch.
Okay, Christchurch.
Yeah, one of New Zealand's biggest cities and probably the sporting capital of New Zealand. So that opportunity was awesome. Was fortunate enough to get a cricket scholarship there. And it was a very good school as well. So at that point, I wasn't a great student, and not a bad one, but genuinely not paying much interest or anything like that. And I think
studies per se.
In studies, and just sitting at the back, not causing trouble, but just being a pest, basically. Yeah. I'd say once I moved there, probably smaller class sizes, some very highly skilled teachers, and I was able to buy into it a little bit more and get some okay grades while still obviously focusing on the sport. And from there, I took a cricket scholarship to university in Christchurch as well, and just keep going towards that cricketing dream, but also getting an education.
Awesome. So were like in your, when you were living with your parents close to, in Nelson, Nelson beaches, were they close to your house? Like you would go into beaches all the time? Or were you a beach person from the beginning?
Yeah, I think so. I think probably our family was. Probably 10-minute drive. So not like walk to the beach, but pretty easy to get there. We like to be in the water.
Yeah.
When we weren't playing sport, we would probably be at the beach or swimming in the river. Not a lot of time inside. So
Yeah. And what are your parents' names?
Ian and Helen.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
And you have any siblings or?
I have 2 older sisters.
2 older sisters. Oh, how was that? Like, so what is the best thing that they did, or what do you like about them, or growing up, what was kind of, at home?
Yeah. So, I mean, I like them now. Growing up, we might not have seen eye to eye. My older sister used to get into a bit of trouble, and I was hyper focused on sport and stuff. So one day I found her cigarettes. So she was a naughty teenager, and I snapped them all in half and threw them in the trash.
Oh, so you were you were the big guy in the house taking care of the sisters.
I'm not sure they would think that, but that's what I thought I was doing. And then
after that, it's going to be me making moves in the house.
And then my middle sister, we used to chase each other around at home with knives and all sorts of carry on. So, there was plenty of arguments. I was pretty annoying.
Real knives?
Real knife.
Oh.
No contact, though, just threats.
Oh my God, that's a wild. I mean, I wouldn't have ever imagined that you were that kind of a kid, running around with knives in the house. But amazing to know that you grew up with 2 ladies in the house, and because I mean, so obviously you're the youngest in the house, so probably you grew up a little more mischief than the other 2. And getting away with it, right? And being prepared to get away with it, kind of planning. Because I see that in my house. I have a son and a daughter, and my daughter is all prepared in her head. Watching the big guy getting into trouble, the older guy getting into trouble, and then kind of really maneuvering through the rules. So she gets her way. Oh, awesome. So. So in Nelson, do you have any best friends you still hang out with or talk to them?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think once I moved away from Nelson to Christchurch, you lose touch with some friends, and then same thing moving to the US, you lose touch from some friends in New Zealand. But I think a few close ones you always stay engaged with, even though you might not see them as much. Yeah. My best friend from Christchurch, I was just in New Zealand 2 weeks ago for his wedding. So, we don't talk as much now. Life gets busy in that, but it was still great friends, and it was awesome to go back. And also went to see my 2 sisters the last few weeks. One's in Australia, one's in New Zealand. And it's quite cool now because I'll spend time talking to their kids around sport and psychological stuff as well. Like they both... A few of the kids have some challenges mentally with sport or life, so we have some good conversations around that in a friendly environment. And
nice.
So that's pretty cool to be able to do.
Super. Yeah, where in Australia is your
Perth?
Perth. Okay. Yeah. So I went to school in University of South Australia, Adelaide.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I lived there for like almost 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So I got a little bit of touch of the Australian culture, the very rural culture kind of in Adelaide, very calm city. And I worked there a little bit too. So I lived in Melbourne for like 6 months. So I have a little bit of that. And I keep telling people, that I have an accent of like the Indian, English, British accent, and my Hindi, Telugu, my Australian and American accent. So I don't know which words are coming out of my mouth.
You've got the posh Indian accent.
Posh Indian accent. Yeah, I actually, my kids catch the actual accent versus like my actual way of talking. So awesome. So what was the first match? Do you remember that? And did you bowl or bat? And what were your scores if you did?
No, honestly, I don't. My wife will give me a hard time, but I don't restore information that well, and I wouldn't have a clue what. All I remember is being pretty aggressive and very, very into it. But my tennis memories are probably not as good. We took tennis very seriously, but I was very aggressive on the tennis court, and not something I'm proud of, but something I learned a lot from.
Agility and...
I mean, I think more psychological. I used to throw my racket. I used to abuse opponents. and that crept into my cricket until I started working with a sports psych at my boarding school, and he made drastic improvements. And probably now people look at me as like some super relaxed guy, but I was completely opposite. So those were very good learnings as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think, and I'm sure you see that in today's kids, and you can relate to where it is coming from, and probably learn from what you went through as a teenager or as a young kid. Oh, that's amazing. I never knew that you had this other side, from which you actually transformed into something calmer, just kind of looking at life differently.
Yeah.
That's amazing, Marty. Thank you for sharing that, being transparent about it. So, I mean, of course, you said you don't remember the match, but so did you pick up bowling as your main thing, or batting in general?
Yeah, I think probably in New Zealand, certainly bowling was my what paid the bills.
Yeah.
But being a useful batter as well. I think probably skill-wise, I was probably more skilled as a batter.
Yeah.
Mentally, I didn't figure it out like I figured out bowling from a young age. So that's something I don't regret, but I wish I had have figured it out a little bit early and been a genuine all-rounder when I was playing professionally in New Zealand. When I moved to the US and played for the US, I played as a batter, actually. I didn't really bowl.
Which year was that? When did you come here?
I came here in 2027, and then I qualified for the US in 2020.
27?
No, sorry, 2017.
Oh, 2017. Okay.
Yeah, and then qualified for the US after 3 years.
Oh, nice.
And then played for the US in 2021 as a batter. So I did figure out batting, but I don't think I figured that out until I was sort of mid-20s, which at that point in my career in New Zealand, I was known as a bowler.
Yeah. Awesome. Like a fast bowler,
spin bowler.
Spinner, like off spin, leg spin?
Left arm.
Oh, left arm.
Orthodox.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Fingers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So I think, our audience, some of them, especially, we're in San Diego, so we're going to have a lot of San Diego audience. So for people who are familiar with baseball, basketball, all the other American football and things like that, why don't you start with just introducing what is a bat, what is a ball, and what happens in cricket, a little bit of introduction.
Yeah, I wish I had my wife, because she's outstanding at dumbing it down, because she's seen enough cricket, but she also has the American background, so she's really good. So, I mean, cricket ball here, made of leather with the stitching for the seam here. Pretty hard, flies pretty well. And then obviously the bat here, which has a flat face opposed to a baseball bat that's round, obviously, and you're looking to hit it here.
Yeah.
And somewhere obviously in the middle here, it'll fly.
The ball will travel farther if you hit in the middle or on the bottom?
Definitely in the middle.
Okay.
I don't know where I should show this to the camera, but this has got quite a big, but pretty thin at the bottom here, a bit fatter in the middle. So definitely hitting the middle. But yeah, I mean, relatively similar to baseball in a way, in the sense there's a pitcher / bowler and a batter. The main difference is the pitcher is not allowed to bend their arm. So essentially throw the ball. They have to bowl the ball.
Bounce the ball.
Keep it straight. There's not allowed to be any bend here. So the bowler runs in, jumps, and then needs to keep this arm straight. From a batting perspective, same thing, looking to hit the ball, but you can hit it 360. You don't just have to hit it out in front like you do in baseball. So it allows for a lot of innovation and hitting the balls to different areas.
Awesome. Do you practice now? Like, do you have anything in your backyard that you do? What do you do in general?
Yeah, so I personally don't practice, but I do a lot of coaching in my backyard where we build a batting cage. So that's awesome. People come to the backyard and do coaching there, pitching machines, throwing, do batting, bowling.
Are there any kids from baseball that come to you and try to find, try to understand how to use those skills in cricket in general?
There's not at this stage. I hope at some point a few look at that as an option, because some of them, with the skills they have, could really apply it to cricket and be dangerous, powerful hitters in today's modern game of cricket.
Yeah, yeah. So again, where can somebody buy a bat if they want to get into cricket? Just to kind of get used to it. Where can they buy a bat or a ball? Can they order somewhere in San Diego?
Yeah.
Go to like places. Okay, so there is a cricket
There's
shop.
a cricket store in Rancho Bernardo,
Okay.
Kaziranga Cricket Store.
Yeah.
So with a quick Google, you'd be able to find that for sure.
Oh, super. Yeah. I mean, just so that people understand what it is, and they can probably go just look at it and get a feel for it.
Definitely.
Right. If they don't want to buy, that's okay too. Right. Awesome. So let's start with when did you get into coaching? And I know, of course, I ask you, or do you have something in your backyard? Of course, my son goes for coaching with you. It's almost been 3 to 4 years now. He plays under 15 now in San Diego. And I've seen that when he comes to you, he's happy, he's himself. And there's a lot to learn from you, but I think you don't try to teach, but you be, right? And then they are absorbing certain things from you to be a certain character or a personality in life in general, right? That's going to support them to be growing as humans. So let's start with when you came here. Of course, you played for USA as a batter. But then when did you slowly kind of get into, where were you when you first came to US? Were you in San Diego or, you straight came to San Diego? Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you've been in San Diego for at least more than 5
Yeah, 9
years.
years.
Oh, 9 years. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I've been here for almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about how did you get into coaching? Who was your first student and what is the age groups you teach? And then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I think probably I started coaching when I was about 16 years old. So about 20 years ago now, I started coaching in New Zealand. It was just an extension of playing essentially and wanting to work with people. And then I did some in the UK when I was over there playing as well. And then continued whilst I was playing in New Zealand. And then once I stopped playing fully, that's probably when I started enjoying it more because now I wasn't having to worry about my own game. All I cared about was that person or team I was working with at that point. But in terms of age group, I think probably I cover every age group going around. I coach adult teams, youth kids. I've got 5-year-olds. I've got 50-year-olds, and then coaching some teams and stuff like that as well that are adults, some are youth. So, there's probably not too many age groups being missed. In fact, I'm coaching a 70-year-old at the moment who's about to go to the over 70 World Cup.
Wow.
So there's no discriminating against age in my backyard.
And boys and girls, right?
Boys and girls,
mix of everybody.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what do you do in nets? Like what happens for anybody who has no idea about what happens for practicing cricket? What happens? What does a coach do? And how do they reach out to you? And what do they do in that one-on-one coaching versus something like a team?
Yeah.
What happens?
Yeah, I think first of all, I need to know what's been going on with their cricket in the previous few weeks. Have they had a game? Have they had trainings? What have they got coming up? And then probably the first 5 minutes are good to have a discussion with them to see where they're at, what they have coming up, because the practice needs to be prepared in accordance to what they have coming up. There's no point just going through the motions and just doing the same session for the same person. And then I need to, give them what they need to prepare for what's coming up, whether that be technical work, mental work, skills work, developing some new options. So, I mean, to not beat around the bush, I'm going to be throwing balls of some sort. Depending on what they need, or otherwise they might be doing some bowling. And again, depending on what they're needing or what's coming up, we'll design that session around that. And then at least with some of the players that are open to it, more discussions, I think are more valuable than hitting hundreds of balls. Some don't like to talk, or some will give you nothing. So then it's a little bit more challenging. Then it's a case of servicing them and giving them balls.
Yeah.
But a lot of targeted questions, and ideally I'm not instructing, but I'm having them spit out answers. So they're learning quicker rather than just listening to me say, hey, do this, do that. So that's and to the ones I trust and know that thinkers, I'll say, what do you need today versus what do I want them to do?
Fine. Awesome. And any level, like, can they come like without any cricket background and just come to you and then start their coaching journey?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah. I mean, the first thing I think for someone starting the game is finding the love for it.
Yeah.
So you don't need a lot of equipment to find the love for it. It's just getting a feel for it and that. So you can.
So who is a great student of cricket? Who do you think is a great student of cricket who comes to you, and what can they bring in their mind that helps them to grow with you?
Yeah, I think someone like Sid Menins, who I've worked, he was one of the first youth I coached. He was 12 when he started. He's probably 19 now. But he's just a very intelligent, polite, organized kid. Doesn't always have time to practice, but is very aware of what he needs. Very aware of what's coming up. Yeah. And very open to his struggles as well. Because if someone's not open to saying they're struggling with something, and trust me, there's people I coach that'll just say everything's fine. It's a little bit harder for me to help them. It's better to be vulnerable and open up about what you're struggling with, whether that's something mental or something skills-wise. It's good to be confident, but to be naive is also not very helpful. So I think he's realistic. He's a thinker, and he's also open to what he needs to do to be better, and doesn't feel like anyone owes him something.
So do you see him as a transformed individual from when he came to you first versus how he is now, in terms of how he communicates or opens himself up to you in general?
I think so, but I think he's just a good kid as well. Yeah. So I don't want to take too much credit for that. I think he's just a good all-round kid. And to be honest, they all are. Yeah. The people I work with are fantastic people, and just because someone's not a good communicator, that doesn't mean that they're not a good person. It's just a personal struggle maybe they have, or something going on in their lives which doesn't make them confident to communicate. So I just think he's a really good, diligent kid. Rohan's another one, and these kids happen to be very smart at school as well, and very good at using their time and very respectful. I think that's a big one for me, is they show a lot of respect, and they'll be comfortable not agreeing with what I say, and they'll say, understood, but this is what I was thinking. And I love that, because I'm not 100% correct with anything, to be honest. It's all ideas, and some things catch and some things don't.
So which, I know, again, cricket is big in like the, subcontinent, Asian subcontinent, again, Australia, Africa, I mean, as close as West Indies, and now you have a USA team. So you get kids from all different origin or backgrounds. Like, what do you see most of the kids come from in general?
Yeah, I don't think...
And I know the answer.
Yeah.
To poke you.
And I don't think it's too much of a secret to anyone that follows cricket in the US. It's primarily Indian, Pakistan. For me, it's 99.99% Indian origin. Yeah. But for me, I also like to call them American kids. Yeah. Many of them are born here and speak like an American, act like an American, whilst maintaining their Indian heritage, which I think is important. So, I mean, it's a talking point for many, and people like to poke fun at it. But it is what it is. It's we're all humans. I mean, under the color, under the identity we try to put everybody under. We are all humans, and there is so much of oneness and the similarity. I think people have to go beyond that, and I really appreciate what you do in general, because
And that's why, my podcast is really focused on how do you shape the next world, and there is no color to it, there's no religion to it, there's a mix of everything, there's a lot more diversity, inclusion, and how do you really see the human in everybody, right? And why I ask you that also is because I can relate, and my child has gone to you, so I know what kind of challenges I have as a dad, or my wife, as a mom, that we think we know better than the kid, and we try to give them what they want, but there's a lot of influences in school. There's a lot of influence from the social media. There's a kind of even with friends, there's good friends, great friends, there's bullies, there is education challenges. I mean, the little kids today are going through a lot of things, because they're pulled in so many directions, right? So when you said, they are polite, they come and they say, hey, do you understand? And they go, yes. I know there's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot more depth to it.
Yeah.
And really, as a coach, if you are able to understand and give them space to open up with you, I'm very sure a lot of parents out there are thanking you for that, because we want a father figure, mother figure outside of our closed walls to take these children and give them enough environment to really flourish and grow. And I really appreciate, what you do. And that's why I think you were one of my, first speakers to kind of reach out to you and say, hey, Marty, do you want to come for a podcast? Because I feel very strongly that you are one of the very strong pillars of San Diego, who is bringing that change at the core. And you're going to see that the wave, the ripple effect in the futures, but you can absolutely be confident that you are having an impact in the community.
Thank you.
So I really, really appreciate that. Okay. So Marty, what do you think is the importance of fitness when it comes to cricket, or anything that you want to pick up in terms of football or surfing, or what is it that is special to cricket that we have to focus in terms of fitness?
I think for a start, fitness builds discipline and mental toughness. So I think quite clearly we know we need to be fit for sport, but people overlook what else fitness looks like. And I think for me, I was always one of the fittest, and those tough fitness sessions are what makes you win big moments when you're under pressure.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that you're breathing better than someone else, but you've done some tough things.
Yeah.
So then when the pressure is on, those moments are a little easier. So yeah, it's critical. And I'd say the fitness of cricketers within the USA is pretty disgraceful. I wouldn't call them athletes at all in general.
Yeah.
Of course, there's some that, but I think that's because the sport's still pretty new here, and there's not a lot of standards across the board, and no one really knows.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of room for improvement there, and that'll bring some toughness. It'll bring some team camaraderie and all those things.
Yeah. I when you said about awareness of fitness in general, a proverb came to me. It's from a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And what he says is, you will never raise to the level of the goals, but you will always fall to the level of the systems.
Yeah.
So I think that infrastructure, the systems, the discipline of things around fitness is so important, because it's not just one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right? How do you wake up, and then how do you get into the routine of fitness as a daily practice? And I heard from somebody else, to an Indian actor, he mentioned, if you exercise for 1 hour, if you take care of the body for 1 hour a day, it will take care of the 23 hours a day. That's kind of that's the relationship with your body is, you got to really be able to put that into practice. And like you rightly said, it really builds that discipline for the worst case scenarios in life or in cricket, right? in terms of, how do you kind of de-stress for that moment where you are expected to really do more, right? So that's, amazing. And what do you do for your fitness in general?
Yeah, so I typically work out in the morning, we have a bit of a gym at home, and so I normally start coaching at 6 in the morning. So I normally get up and get some breakfast and have a workout, and that sets up my day in a good way. And then typically go surfing most days, and then I'm on my feet a load coaching. So for me, exercise is critical.
Yeah.
It's high priority just for the headspace and to be fit to coach. I can't be there telling people what to do if I have to sit down on a chair or look sloppy or run out of energy and stuff. I've got to set those standards.
Yeah. And is it a routine that you have, or is it more to do with like your schedules and you kind of manage around it? Do you have like a strict routine that
I've got better, actually, funny. I used to probably be a bit too much regimented, and I wouldn't listen to my body. Now, if I feel tired, I prefer to, because, I mean, it might look like I'm skipping, but I've understood myself a bit more that I do a lot of exercise, and to set that rule that you have to work out or you have to do this is detrimental, because then I'll burn out and be tired for 2 or 3 days. So sometimes it's just stepping back and saying, no, don't work out, don't go surfing, just get through the coaching today. That's about as much energy as you have.
Awesome.
Don't run out of gas, basically. So
I'm a trained dancer, in Bharatnatyam, which is like a very Indian classical dance, and I was when I was 13, that's when I did my dance training. And I'm starting to kind of go back. I did like Bharatanatyam last 10 years, and I'm slowly, just a year ago, I started martial arts, like an Indian martial arts called Kalari Payettu, which is called the mother of all martial arts. And I can see that my teacher probably does 30 minutes of just warm up, meaning the last 15 minutes is when we actually do Kalari. Yeah. But almost 40 to 45 minutes is just warm up. Like there's something called toes massage. There's something called like, hamstring stretches. There is slowly he goes into like hip, and then he's like chest and then the shoulders, and then in the head and neck and everything. And then he goes into like, okay, last 10 minutes of Kalari. So is that your routine usually, like spend more time in terms of stretches and warm ups so that your body's kind of ready for coaching?
I would say I'm actually the opposite to that, Funny, to be honest. I'm not a big stretcher. I've always been a bit naughty with the stretching. But one thing for my body is surfing does a world of good, being in the ocean, and I guess something to do with the mobility in the back. I'm not a great stretcher, to be honest, and I used to get in a bit of trouble when I was playing in New Zealand. They're saying you're getting tight hips and all this. The beauty of retiring from cricket is my body feels amazing. Even though I'm throwing a lot of balls. Some days my shoulder and elbow are a bit sore, and those days I'll just back off throwing a little bit, and then it comes back. But in terms of stretching, I would say my total stretch count per week is about 0.
So when you're coaching, are you expecting kids to have a little bit of stretching and all that? Like, do you begin with stretching? You don't.
I do not.
You do not.
I stretch the mind, and then
the mind.
No, I honestly, like, I'm with them for an hour and stuff. For me, getting as much out of the skills and the mental side of things. Perhaps I should, but I guess I don't strongly believe as much in stretching. I'm not against it. I just don't do it. So for me to then tell people to go and stretch the whole time. In a perfect world, they'd be so disciplined that while they're waiting, they'd be stretching. But that ain't happening.
Okay, interesting. Because, I mean, it's like, I think it's awareness of what stretching does or allows you, like your body. Like, for example, like you'll never be able to twist your finger because it's designed to only bend, right? But that bend needs to be kind of stretched a little more to do what it's supposed to do. Like your wrist, like you have to do. Like in my dance training, there's a lot more of stretching that we do so that slowly you get to the potential
Yeah.
of that muscle or that kind of body movement, and you design that into a dance step. And now when you do that, and now you have stretched enough consistently, you kind of, you're fit to do that dance. So what you're saying is your approach is really kind of more agility, more mental fitness, more mental, I guess, flexibility. And then as you open up, when you're actually batting or balling, your body's all automatically kind of stretching or building. And I think also the younger kids have a little more flexibility, so to speak. Interesting. That's an interesting approach. So what do you eat for breakfast?
Breakfast, I typically have protein pancakes with Greek yogurt, berries, and cinnamon on top.
Oh, nice. Awesome. What do you recommend for kids? Like if there's one thing that all the cricket enthusiasts or the cricket students or cricket players need to have every day, what do you recommend?
I mean, if they are doing a lot, then they should have a good amount of carb and a lot of protein.
Mostly breakfast.
Start meals early and finish them early as well.
Yeah, I think that's a good lesson, because a lot of kids or a lot of people actually eat after the sunset, and there's this thing there where if you finish your dinner before sunset, then there's a lot more to for your body to kind of absorb, and I think there's more absorbing of your body of the food and the minerals and the nutrients in the food when you eat it actually when the sun is up. So yeah, awesome. All right, so let's talk about a little bit about the kind of the mental strength part of it. So why is it important to really focus on how we think as cricket players, or how a kid thinks in terms of their regular thinking ability or their mental ability, in terms of not punishing themselves too much or not really being in the negative space. So what do you think about that mental strength for a game like cricket?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely critical, and people spend hours hitting balls and hours analyzing technique. But if you haven't got your mind right, that's pretty irrelevant. And I'd prefer to call it almost mental clarity. So every single person that plays cricket and plays sport is going to have some negative thoughts coming in their mind. There's no secret to it. No one expects everything to go perfect. And that's the nature of sport. And it's how you deal with it, not that those thoughts are coming. So being able to basically put yourself in a bubble and let things bounce back out that don't need to enter there. So we were talking controllables versus non-controllables. So worrying about how you might go out or whether you might bowl wide, uncontrollables. If that's trying to come in, block it. And repivot your thoughts into something like, let me focus on the ball. So trying to get really simple thoughts coming into your mind that you can repeat every single ball. For example, if you're stepping up to bowl, take a deep breath, pick the ball you're going to bowl, and just commit to it. And then whether you're going to bowl short or wide, forget that. You might still do it, but if you have clarity of thought, the chances are you're more likely to execute. And once you get so process focused, then you stop thinking about all these negative outcomes that could happen. And it's the same with life. We just don't have full control over things. So take care of your process, take care of the controllables, and then let's see what happens. It's like if this interview, I could have thought, what could go wrong? I might swear, I might say something wrong. It doesn't matter. Just get there in a good headspace and just react. And we're designed to react. So it's just having that clarity of thought.
Did you have, I mean, if it is okay to share, anything in your life that was the toughest moment for you that you battled, and how did you come out, or that still stays with you and gives you more power to kind of strengthen people around you?
Probably moving to the US. The first year, just finished playing professional cricket. So that's one transition that's really tricky, as you go from being around your best friends, traveling, doing what you love, people respecting you, whether they should or they shouldn't, because you were decent at cricket, you get respect.
Yeah.
To go into another country where I don't know any of the culture, I don't know any people, I don't have a job, everything's unfamiliar.
Yeah.
It just felt like a tiny fish in the ocean when we did that. So that was, the first year here was very challenging. We didn't have any money. Wife was studying, trying to find a job was very challenging. That really tested me there for sure.
Oh, wow. So you were married before you moved to US?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you knew Andy from New Zealand?
We met in the UK actually when I was playing cricket and she was studying abroad. And then we moved to New Zealand for a little bit. Then we came here for her to do a master's.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So growing up, did you had a lot of were you mixing with other cultures in general? Like, what was the exposure of the world for you in New Zealand?
Yes and no, like decently without being a huge amount. Fortunately with cricket, traveled so much and spent time in the UK and Australia and different parts of New Zealand. So got exposed to different cultures. But for sure more now, like America, whilst it's the Western world, it's very different to New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, England. Yeah. I thought it would be a bit more similar, but it's very different. It's its own beast.
Different? Like, what are the couple of things?
Just for example, healthcare is very overwhelming for us. Where in New Zealand, you're safe. Whatever happens, you're going to be taken care of. Yeah. You're not going to end up on the street. Yeah. There's support there for you. So having
from
those,
the government, right?
Yeah. So having those things all stripped away and feeling like, whoa.
Yeah.
Which has its positives, by the way. But that was very overwhelming, entering this country, and it's big. New Zealand's small. Yeah. That's one of the big things. One of the positive things I see from the US is people were happy to share how they feel and express themselves, wear what they want. In New Zealand, we all want to be normal. Yeah. Which is not healthy, actually, because then you're not getting people reflecting how they actually feel and stuff, and people are not going to talk about things that aren't going well. And in a stadium, you wouldn't want to yell at because you look silly and things like that. So I've really enjoyed people being able to express themselves, and you're not looking what are they wearing, what are they doing, and those things. So those are two things that I notice a big difference. Yeah, and how about like commute and food in general? What's your favorite food from New Zealand? Just from growing up, and what you miss here? Like roast lamb, I would say was a bit of a tradition. I never had that. I understand. Yeah, that was good. But food is really good here. Okay. A lot of good restaurants in San Diego, I find. Yeah, it's good to hear the perspective of you. Like when you said, you moved from there and then you kind of missing what you always had that you take for granted in general, right, growing up. And then you move away from it and then you have this, oh my God, I missed that, kind of the nostalgia, the missing your home kind of feeling. And I can completely relate to that. I moved to India, to Australia. I was like 23 and I came to US. I was in like Michigan in the cold weather with like 2 foot, snow there. And I was like, oh my God, where am I? And then I visited San Diego and I never left, because I love the sun and, being here, but I can completely relate to that kind of mental, strength that you need. Again, you have to kind of overcome that while you're doing all these other things. And I'm glad, you had a journey where you've seen two different worlds and were able to adapt, right? I think that's the word, right? Adapt to the new environment, new challenges. So really, really proud of you, Marty, that, you came here and you're really embracing it from ground up. You're building your own brand, Marty. And that's an amazing thing. You're an entrepreneur, you have a small family and you don't know, there's a lot of unknowns, but your focus is cricket. That one strength that you build your life around growing up
and you're taking that and actually paving way for others to have a path here. That's amazing. And with that, I'm going to do a quick chai challenge with you, Marty, and see if my homemade chai is something that you would love to have. So let's try that, okay, Marty? Kind of make it more fun.
Let's go.
All right. So, I mean, right before coming to the podcast, I really brewed some chai for you. So, and these, again, I'm going to show people, this is like called Parle-G biscuits. We actually dip biscuits in chai. And these are 2 cups. So let's go. My chai kind of spilled around a little bit, but, and Marty is a chai fan. And I'm going to wipe that later, but
That's all right.
Can I get a napkin, Rodrigo, if you have? Oh, you had to go out? Uh-oh. I'm so sorry I'm doing this, but I wish I had the napkins, but. All right, so I poured the chai. I spilled it a little bit. So sorry for the production manager. But this is some amazing chai. I hope you like it. So cheers, Marty.
Thank you.
All right.
Are we tasting it yet? Or
Yes, we are. So
okay.
it's a very authentic homemade chai, and especially made for you.
Oh, that's good.
It has cinnamon, cardamom, clove, black pepper, and ginger.
Some sugar.
And some sugar.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's got the sweet touch.
Oh, awesome. So you can dip the biscuits if you want to. Awesome. So let's get into these last few questions here. So do you seek silence, movement, or prayer for clarity?
That's a great question.
Do you seek silence, movement, or prayer for clarity in tough times or in general?
I would say a mix. Probably rely on all of them.
Rely on all of them.
Yeah.
Are you at times like silent? Just,
Yeah. If I'm a bit cooked, then definitely sometimes just got to sit back and just breathe and unwind and
then get back into
the
rat
figure out
race.
what figure out how we move forward with that. Yeah.
Because I think a lot of that spirituality actually is in the silence.
Yeah.
When you are within yourself, like when you are with yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And I do a lot of meditation. I started it like last year. And I think for me, silence is the go-to, meaning whenever I am in a very tough situation, and I kind of calm everything, all my senses down, close your eyes and really kind of get back into that power in you, to bring it out. Right. So awesome. So a mix of silence, movement, and prayer. Did you ever cry in life?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And is it okay for others to kind of see you cry, or in general, like what is your, and why I ask that is I think there's a lot of taboo about, the macho-ness of a human, of a man versus, being very gentle and kind-hearted and being open about his emotions. So what do you think about that in general? Like, again, boys versus girls, but I'm just talking in terms of boys because that's what I understand a little more. What do you think in terms of emotions? Should they let it out, or should they be okay to be open about it? What do you think in terms of a team spirit, that you saw as men, that actually they can learn from you or understand, kind of bring that more kindness to the game?
Yeah, I think emotions are great, and being vulnerable is an awesome trait for a team as well. That means you're comfortable with the people around you, and if you're crying, you hurt, or I mean, sometimes it's happiness, right? So I think it's a good thing to do. Being vulnerable is a great trait to have. If you're not vulnerable, or you think you've got everything under control, that's a dangerous position to be in, I think, because you're not going to have anyone to share those tough moments with. So I think it's a good thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, I remember there was like a tough game, and it's this last ball, like, Pratham was batting, or I think KP was batting, KP and Pratham, I remember. And there was this game like where Simi was bowling, Simi.
Yeah.
She plays under 19 now. And, she took a catch, she bowled and catch, and our team got out. But I think there was like 1 run to win or something in the last over. And everybody were crying. The other team was crying. The batsman, the runner was crying. The parents were crying. And this was like when Pratham was like 13 years old.
Yeah.
So everybody had this emotions of a mix of sadness, a mix of happiness, and just that moment of like emotion really came out of everybody's body, right? So that's why I ask, like, what do you think is that? What does crying mean to you? But I think it's that vulnerability in all of us, right? That suddenly comes out in a certain moment. So, yeah, super. So, do you ever feel like guided with some force in general? Again, I'm kind of going a little bit into the spirituality, mysticism kind of questions, but I'm trying to see like what is your experience when you are with yourself? Like when you are surfing, there's a big wave, there's some power, right, that is guiding you. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tricky one. But yeah, it's certainly someone's telling me this is the path, and I mean, probably in the last 5 or so years, I feel my purpose and path is to help as many people as possible. So that's my big driving force, and that's what fulfills me and gives me energy in that. So where that force comes from, I'm not 100% sure, but it's there for sure.
Did you have a lot of mom and dad and the whole family sitting at the dining table moments growing up in general?
Yes and no. We were a very busy sport family, so yes and no. We were, I think a lot of the times we're doing our own things, and we're a tight family, but we like events and stuff were probably less. So I wouldn't say that as much.
Okay, yeah. But it's good to know that you really now kind of starting to define the purpose of your life and trying to help others. And why I ask that is I think somewhere growing up, that kind of that family bonding comes back to you at a certain age, and you now that expand that family from not just you and your parents and your sisters and their kids and all that, but you're trying to kind of expand that family into owning or bringing everybody else into that circle of what family means to you, right? And I think that's what defines the purpose, and that's where they say like you're part of this universe, and that's where the bigger you think the family is, right? The more impact you will have, and you will care for others, and then you'll define your purpose really even more broader and higher impact. So again, just trying to have a conversation here. I'm not trying to preach or anything, but I mean, I'm just trying to bring that perspective into my head, where you kind of focus on your kids and your family or whatever, but then slowly like, what, I might have an impact on somebody else, and somebody else is watching me and my strengths and kind of taking it from there, right? So awesome. So all right, so we're kind of getting to the close here, but I have a couple of more questions, and then I'll let you kind of close off with your understanding of life. Yeah. When did you really realize that your work is impacting the community? Or is there one child, one kid, one adult, one life that you impacted, and then you started to reflect that, what, I think this is probably my purpose?
If I had a better memory, there would be lots, because certainly the messages come and when you see someone that you might not have seen for 2 or 3 years, and then the parent or the kid comes back and says, thanks for what you did. It's really helped me get through life. you obviously get the cricket ones where they're like, oh, thanks for helping cricket-wise, beautiful, hitting the ball really well, got picked for this team. But what's probably more impactful is when you see them get through a tough patch using the skills you've hopefully helped them with through cricket into that real world. And certainly the appreciation messages do come. And whilst that's not why we do it, it's nice to remember that is there and you are helping people, because you can from day to day sometimes forget. You think you're just a ball thrower, but there's definitely more to it. And I think probably each year I do this, I try to do more that impacts more people without pushing it too far, that I become too busy and unhelpful. Basically, I've got to look after myself to look after that amount of people and give them the best version of me.
What are the services do you provide, and what can they expect from you? Yeah,
I mean, ideally not too many people come because I'm already struggling. That's the first thing I say to people is, please don't say too much about this because I'm struggling to manage the workload. No, I mean, ultimately I'm coaching cricket, and then as that relationship builds, hopefully, pending the person, we're building a relationship which can help work on some skills that can help tackle school work, all those things, and build a friendship for the rest of our lives, basically, in a nutshell.
Yeah, so be better citizens, right?
Yeah.
And contribute back into the society.
Exactly.
Yeah, awesome. So again, one last question. Thank you again for taking time today. But this is something that I want really be the takeaway at the end. What anchors you to do what you're doing every day?
Family. Yeah. Definitely family.
It is. I completely. Yeah. Oh my God, that's an amazing word. I didn't expect that, but that's actually true for me. For amazing. And what do you see as what do they give? What do they hold you? Do they? What are you taking from that family that is always staying with you wherever you go?
Yeah, I mean that's your home base when the going gets tough. The going's good. They'll be quick to say, "Hey, you're coaching too much," or you don't need to take on that much. And
they hold you back.
Yeah, quick to say, "Why are you trying to do so much? Just keep it simple. Stay with us and
keep you grounded."
Yeah, and if I lose my job, guess who I'm going to fall back on? Is family, right? That's all that's going to matter. Or if I get injured, that's all that's going to matter. Or so when things are good, you can't forget about your home base and all that. And I think probably the last 2 or 3 years I've been a lot better at saying no. Because if I say yes to everything, I'm going to work too much, burn out, be hopeless at home. So I think they give that really good base.
Last year we went to UK with our under 15, under 14 team, and we won the tournament. And we forgot to talk about that. What was that? What was your journey with that trip to UK with your first really strong team from San Diego, and pretty much winning it and coming back? Really, working with 5 other teams from around the world and kind of winning that cup and coming back. What was that journey? And I know you're planning to do that this year. So share some of those wins.
Yeah. I mean, obviously great to win the tournament, but I think bigger than anything was seeing 14 guys treat each other with respect, do anything possible for the team to win a game or support the team. Going into the tour, there was some concerns around potential bullying, people not getting along, different age groups. And that was just squashed immediately by this group that just came together. And interesting talking to some kids that maybe had faced some challenges with other kids in that team previously, said, well, that guy was so nice to me on this tour and things like that. So that for me was the biggest one. Winning a trophy is great, but that doesn't do anything for you. But
Yeah.
the lessons learned and the camaraderie, because I've seen these guys play together and it's not always that great in terms of energy and camaraderie and stuff. So to see them all come together was, definitely very awesome and tough to live up to this year, but I'm sure we'll produce that again. And some people talk to me about, we might not have enough batting. I couldn't care less. I couldn't give two craps about what batting or bowling we have. I'm going there to get a group of 15 guys to build friendships and memories for a lifetime.
Absolutely.
And we'll compete as hard as we can, and we'll see what happens with the results.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, cricket is from England, right? It's an English game. When you saw the infrastructure there versus the infrastructure here in San Diego, what are a few things that if San Diego City were to kind of listen to you, right? What were the few things that you can ask for the San Diego City to improve that can help cricket?
Yeah, I mean, we'd definitely benefit from some cricket-specific sports fields that can be maintained to a cricket standard.
Yeah.
And then certainly cricket nets or batting cages in America alongside parks that don't take up too much space, which allow people just to go down and train as they wish. Because as of now, it's a big challenge for people to be able to train as much as they need to be better cricketers.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's a great message. I think I hope that somebody from the cities is probably going to listen to this and see what they can do to help us. Right. Again, thank you so much for your time. Like I said, you're one of my first speakers here in my podcast. And I have to tell you, Marty, that you have changed my life. You made it look very easy. You are a role model for somebody like me, and I'm very sure a lot of your kind of the parents around you who you touch all our lives and make our lives more stronger. To be part of this community that's a very small community, but we can really grow together. And I really thank you for taking time today and helping me on my path of seeking. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Marty.
Thank you, Phani. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you for joining us on our podcast, and I really appreciate you taking time. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Vannam Films, and hope to see you more commenting and really forwarding our podcast to other people.